just a basic question I'm always asking, what are the most common mistakes that you're seeing authors make? Where do you find that that you're spending most of your time editing and coaching authors to?
That's it. Every author is different, but I'm finding like a lot of authors, even when I was agenting, this was a problem. Like, authors withhold a lot of information, and so they're like, oh, they have the big twist or reveal at the end, and I think of it more as your Scooby-Doo moment, like taking off the mask, and it's like some random person you had no idea it was even possible to be like the culprit is. And you're like, no, who's this gas station attendant that is now like your killer? Because that's unfair. It's like, you cannot, as a reader, read that story from the beginning to the end, play detective, because that's fun, like figuring out like who it might be. And if it's some random person, you're never going to be able to guess. And to me, that is lazy storytelling. Like, I think that you have to care about the victims, you have to care about the narrator, and you have to care about the culprit. And if you're doing something so random, like, no one's gonna guess and no one's gonna care, and they're gonna get mad, and no one wants your next book. That's just a terrible, terrible idea. And not all of your information is gonna be important at the end, or is gonna tell you that, I don't know, it's gonna hint at like what the big reveal is. Like, it's not okay to hold back all of the information. You should probably pepper it throughout your book, because if you're holding it back, like, no one's gonna get to the end of your book. No one's gonna care if they're who Juan is. If they don't like you, you need to tell us in the beginning or whatever, maybe in the middle, who Juan is, and if he was adopted or the long lost brother of so and so. I mean, give your reader a fighting chance to like figure things out, because that's gonna be clever. It's not clever if you withhold that info. It's not. It's lazy. It's bad writing, and it's not fun. It's really frustrating.
There is a best-selling mystery novelist who I try never to author shame, so I won't say his name, even though he's really famous. And he'd written a series about a detective that I really enjoyed, but he got to one book and he was trying to launch into a new series. So the detective got, I think, blown up, but he was out for the count for a little while, but it was a first-person narrative. So we switched to the first-person narrative of two new detectives. And one of those detectives went on to star in her other series. And the other detective, who in the first person tried to solve the mystery until the last couple of chapters, then revealed himself to be the killer. And I threw the book across the room and I said, "No, you knew the whole time,
Yeah,
you liar.
exactly.
That's not okay."
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not fair if you don't give us hints, or if you don't tell us. You can do twisty ends and you can do big reveals, and it's fun. And like, I enjoy being shocked. I've seen like so many movies, I've read so many books. I enjoy a really good mystery. I enjoy when I feel like surprised at like the end, because most of the time I'm not surprised. Like, I knew as the sixth sense that the guy died. I knew Bruce Willis was dead from the get-go, because he told you he died. You saw him get shot. I knew. I mean, it's clever. It was really well done. And that was an amazing book, or amazing movie, sorry. But like, I think you have to have like clues like that. You have to be able to put two and two together in order for something like this to be read and be seen and figured out and be shocked. And you have to really invest your time in these characters, in this plot. You have to care. And if you're withholding information, if you're telling people that, oh no, that's gonna come at the end, it's like no one's gonna read to the end. I mean, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and that's a harsh truth. Like editors are really like picky about what they're picking up and what they're reading and what they're even publishing. You're not going to get published if you're not good enough, and that just simply isn't good enough. You need to be able to be a master at your craft, and withholding information is not being masterful.
That's also, I'm sure, true of genres outside of mysteries. If you're
Oh,
doing a
sure.
romance, it has to make sense that
Yeah,
these two people would be right for each other. Any type of plot,
exactly.
the characters have to be consistent.
Yes, exactly. I'm just thinking mysteries because they're so big and like it's what I've been reading a lot, and that's the big pitfall is like figuring out these characters' lives and like who's doing the killing, basically, who's doing whatever it is, you know.
A
So,
theory of mine, and it is just a theory, but I teach writing workshops, which you can sign up for at middlegradeninja.com. And I'm always trying to instill in people, if you're going to spend your resources on editing, look to spend at least 40-50% of your time in those first 75 pages. Then make sure you get your middle and spend some time on the ending. But that ending sells the next book. If you don't get it, if you
yes,
don't hook your reader and get him in right there at the start, like
yes.
you said, you don't have to worry about the ending.
Exactly. I think Mickey Spillane, he's like, obviously, I don't know if your readers know about him, but he was like that crime novelist with this detective, Mike Hammer. He said your opening will sell the book, but the ending will sell your next book. And I totally believe that. Like, yes, you have to hook your readers. The first like 50 pages, your opening has to be like a ton of work. Like, you have character, you have dialogue, you have to introduce us, you have to build your world, you have to introduce us to everything there is. And the ending is just as important as like your opener hooks the reader to like want to read more and continue reading. Your last line, your last chapter, whatever, like makes the reader want to continue reading you. You can't like not have a good opener and a good closer. You have to have both.
Well, especially now that we're in the age that we're in, I would say there's never been a better time to be an author because here I am. I'm in Indiana. You're in Oregon, and we're having this conversation. And we can reach anybody in the world right now if we are of a mind to. But that means that your readers have got more pressures for their time than ever before. And I'm reading a fair amount of my books right here on the old smartphone just because it's always in my pocket. And if I get to the end of your chapter and I'm not compelled, I'm not interested, I've got all of my email there. I've got my Twitter feed there.
Yeah.
I've got all of social media. If you lose me, you might lose me forever in any given chapter.